Hi, welcome back to another video of Planning with Britt. This is Britt here, and today I'm going to plan the month of November. So if that's something you want to watch, then hang around. Okay, so we're going to plan November in my B6 horizontal plans by Just Scribble. So we'll start kind of here and do a little bit of this. So, yeah, so this was the October dashboard kind of page. I'm going to remove this now because, oh no, that was for content. It's going to stay there. Never mind. And that one's for a track. Okay, if you watched the October Plan With Me video, you remember that I hated this. And so all I did was go back over it with the darker color that I had used and covered up that really light color and just left it at that. So my goals, I have now checked off, marked off all the things I did get accomplished. And then this was October, and now we're ready to move into November. So we will fill out the monthly page, same as like we've been doing, kind of same format. We've used a clear month from my shop, and then some deco from some kind of a book, and some washi, and then we are ready to get this month planned. So let's see what else we got. I did grab out, oh yeah, we will on this side do a November cover page and then November goals right here. I did grab the monthly sticker sheet that I've been using for my shop, and then a sheet of the Makselife Area of Life for my goals to put in here. And then I grabbed a couple of markers for this Sharpie S Note in this light pink, this kind of orangey Crayola Super Tip, and then this pink Tombow, it's 803. I'm also going to use, set this aside for a second. I'm also going to use this Love Posh sticker book. It is Whimsical Fall from I'm not sure when, and we're going to use this these ones in here, these kind of Thanksgiving with the pinks. And yeah, that's the set we're going to use in this setup. So we just use a little bit of deco and using this color scheme basically. So I'm going to move this back over here, make sure we can see what's happening. And let's go to the November monthly page, and then we'll get started. So I did pull out some washi to use, and I'm not sure exactly what I will use. Pumpkins, colored pumpkins that say Faith, Grace. Sorry, I got a dog barking in there. I did think about using this one. I did like this Harvest Stardust. It went pretty well with these colors. Also pulled out this pink Stardust. It also went fairly well. And then I think I pulled this peachy pink one too. So I'm not really sure what combination of those we'll use, but these are all Simply Gilded washis. This one just says Halloween on it. I'm not sure how old that is. This one says Harvest Stardust from 10/21. This says Peach and Blue Stardust from 2021. And this one says February Pre-Sale Stardust from 2021. So somewhere in that time frame is when those are from. And I think that is about all that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So I've got this November we're going to lay down there. I may have laid it down a little too shallow. And it's a pretty close to the same. Okay. And then I'm going to find some deco to put here and some washi along the bottom. So I guess we kind of need to make a decision about what washi we want to put on here. I like the t-shirt with the coffee cup that says Thankful. And then maybe, I don't know, the Happy Pisces would fit here too. But I do like the Happy Pisces, and also like the menu. This one's a little smaller, but I really like the colors here. Let's just see. I bet we can make this work. But we gotta make a decision about washi. I'm gonna do this peach, pink. I really did think that pumpkins might kind of match, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking no, maybe not. They're more, not really any of those colors. So I think we're gonna use some of all of it. I'm gonna use the peach, and yeah, I think I've been doubling some washi up down here for a little bit. Let's look at some other months. So that was October, we doubled setted. September we went over, And then in August, we did some doubling also. Let's take this one and then let's tear that one and see if we like that. All right, so let's get some washi laid down here. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm not 100% sure where my washi card is. So we're going to just use this for now. Oh, and it's got tape on it, so it may not tear really nicely, but that's all right. We might try to lay a little piece of that pumpkin washi down and then make a decision on whether or not we like it with this. And if not, this is much pinker here than it looked on the card, but that's all right. We will use it. And then I'm going to see about putting the pumpkin on the top. Let's just give it a little shot. We'll put a little bit down and make a decision whether we think this kind of goes. It's pretty pink. I think I'm going to just go with it. I think it's okay. I just don't get a ton of chances to use this washi with the different, you know, holiday kind of stuff. So if we can, I want to use some of it up. So the older some of the stuff is, the harder it is to get it, or, you know, just hoping that it stays working and that we're not having trouble with stickiness and it coming apart, you know, that kind of stuff. All right, so there's that. All right, so we got this laid down. I'm okay with that. I think I'm gonna try to fit this thankful on here. I can probably cover up a little bit of this. I was trying to go between the days. I'm gonna grab my teeny tiny scissors and trim around this just a little bit. So I can get rid of some of that white around here. It would give me a little more room. All right, I'll take that aside for now. Let's see. I think we'll leave it at something like that, and I'll just trim this edge of the t-shirt off. And I don't think the Happy Pie season is going to fit here. I definitely want to grab my blade and trim that off. Let's do some trimming there. Now, this one moves because I can't lay it flat due to the washi that's on there. Should have grabbed my tweezers and pull probably. All right, let's try from the bottom. Didn't want to come through the top. I have the trouble with the blade occasionally because I try to cut through the washi without cutting into my paper, and sometimes I can make that happen and sometimes I cannot. So, and that didn't work well either. I do have I recently located. I'm not sure where they are. These really cool scissors that were in the Lail by Mail booth at Little Craft Fest. I don't see them. But they lay flat. They are the coolest little things. I will definitely grab them some point in time and give them a go on this channel so you can see them because they are really pretty nifty. I really can't even describe what it's doing. You know, I'm going to try with the blade again instead of with the scissors, and hacking at it with my nail is not going to help. Let's cut this little piece. And that little piece. Now we're going to grab the tweezers. See if we can have them come off with the tweezers. I usually take my bracelets off to film. I probably should do that now because those charms banging around is pretty distracting. Jeez, this little piece really does not want to come off of here. Okay, that's good enough. Goodness. All right, these are all okay here. So I'm going to see about putting some other little piece of deco here. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's the 27th, or we can just use a pumpkin. Since those are orange, let's use this little group of pinky kind of pumpkins. Okay, we're going to put that down. We're going to move this over, and we're going to cut this off. All right, that's good enough. There we go. Get that little bit laid down. I'm going to put some kind of deco or something up here. In fact, one of these might be really cute up there. These little, I'm not sure what they call this. I'm okay to cover up some of the dates. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. All right, so we can fill in a few things that we know are happening right now. I'm going to look at a couple of things here. So the housekeeper is not there here, but she will be here this day. And this day. And I'm going to remove the bracelet. At least the charm one that's making all the noise. Making all that racket. Okay, and then we got a couple other things to look at here. Paydays. 10th and the 24th. And I'm guessing also... No, not the 31st. Okay, so here. And here. And I'm not sure about mine. Should be here, but we're off this week, so it's possible that we actually get paid like here. I don't know. It doesn't really make a difference. It comes when it comes. That's all the things I can think of there that we know. I know I have a hair appointment. $10:30 here. I know I need, let's do it, one of these thin washies for, and I think I'm still going to tear it even though it's thin. Yep, I'm going to tear it a little bit. I'm going to mark off CPC dates. Sorry about the dogs barking. I don't know what they're hearing to make them feel the need to bark. One is outside and the others are inside. And the outside dog is barking, so that makes the inside want to bark as well. So I'm going to start this little tiny piece and see if this is enough to get. It's not quite enough. But it's okay. We'll just continue from the other edge and put that one there. So yes, one's outside and she barks, and so the inside dogs are also barking. I wouldn't say inside dogs, they all come inside. We just have one that's outside currently. She did not want to come in, so she's hanging out there and she's barking. And the other ones are inside and barking. I'm going to just kind of overlap that a little. Cover that up a little bit here. We'll grab this to tear with. Awesome. And then also this day. That's the travel home day. And then back to work on the 11th. All right, so I'm going to set this little washing aside. Okay, so there's what November looks like at the moment. I don't know of anything else. I'm just going to use this Happy Thanksgiving sticker on the 27th. I think it'll be okay. It's kind of large, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, so let's see if there's anything else from my other calendar that I need to add that I know of now. I'm sure things will add in as time goes on. Oh, I do. I forgot one. There's this one also. Okay, so yeah, that'll be all for now. We'll add any of this in as time goes on if I know more. So we need to make a November cover page, and I really honestly thought about doing it with letters instead of drawing because I just hated October so much. And then I thought about sketching it and I was like, no, we're not going to do that. So I think I'm going to use this brightish orange and do the November in the center, and then maybe go around it with one of those pinks. So let's look. The problem is also with making sure that there is some room that I have enough room around, like that I don't run out of room here, but I'm never really good about like sketching before I draw. I really did think about doing it before I got on here, but that would just ruin the fun of playing the game. Like, is it gonna fit? We were getting increasingly harder to write because of my sticker placement earlier in the year here. N-O-V-E-M-B. Let's not misspell it. That would be very much fun here on camera. Ooh. You really kind of barely made it, and not even really all that well. Okay, I was going to color in that opening in the letters with the pink, but I don't know that I will. I mean, it's not going to work very well on the R. I'll just color over it, I guess. There's my little blotter sheet. Here it is. I'm going to put this here for a little bit, and we'll start setting up these goals on this side. So we're going to start with personal. Should grab the tweezers for these because I pull hard and fast and then we have trouble, but we'll start. Uh-oh, that one didn't go down really well. Let's see if we can pick it up. Yeah, let's try to straighten that up a little bit. All right, so for personal, and I'm gonna need to get those colored out as well. I have not at this point grabbed them already. All right, so we have these. Is that all 8 of them? I feel like, yeah, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, we got them all. All right, so we're gonna start with yellow. The others up here, and we're gonna look back at our quarterly goals. And I also did do all of my October monthly reflections already. I filled this in, and I'll go through this in my October flip through as well. Okay, so let's look at these. Will probably be pretty similar goals for this so far. I'm trying to find my quarterly goals. Here they are. So my personal quarterly goals were to tighten up my AM routine, scripting, AM skincare. I'm working on my planner, consistency in my PM routine, start earlier in order to get that filled in. Start earlier also helps with skincare, self-care, things like monthly hair color, monthly pedicure, bi-weekly manicure, weekly reflections, and then we want to read 4 to 5 books a month. That did not happen in October. I read 1. I was kind of in like a burnout phase. Like I read okay, so I'll go through phases of reading, and then I kind of like, I don't say burnout's not the right word, but you know, either something's going on, like I'm reading something, I'm not getting through it fast enough. I do use the Libby app on my phone, and so I've got a library thing checked out, but then it's like it's due and I haven't finished it, or just whatever. And so I just go through these little phases sometimes where I read a ton, and then there'll be some time where I don't read that much. And so that's kind of how October was. So we'll attempt again, but you know, it's fine if we don't make it that way. So let's see what we had here. And I am going to leave the scripting to kind of go along with journaling. So that's where that is going to go. I'm going to move it from my personal down to the other portion. So let's, I'm going to move this away for now. I'm going to do a little bit of looking to last month's goals so I can see kind of what that is. All right, so instead of AM routine, I'm going to put AM planner because my AM routine is pretty much set. And I'm going to use yeah, I'm going to change this to PM routine, I guess. Okay, let's go with those. And then I need to see, and I'm going to look at this. We can look here and see for November. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So I just need 4 dots on my little tracker. All right, so we'll have 4 here. All right, let's go on and look at a little bit more here. So I'm sure we will definitely need a pedicure. And then I'll list them separately. A manicure. We'll list hair up here. I'm going to list weekly reflections. And then also, let's see what else we may want to add from here. I'm trying to keep my quarterly goals kind of in mind also. Yeah, I think that's about it. We'll put read 4 books because there's 4 weeks. And we said we moved the scripting to a different time. We're going to include that with journaling instead of leaving it there. Okay, so I think for the most part that's good. Let's finish with tracker dots. 1 pedicure, 1 hair, 2 manicures, 1, 2, 3, 4 weekly reflections, 4 books. Okay, done with the personal category. Now we'll grab the fun and recreation. Is that the next one? Yep, fun and recreation. Stick it right there, and we'll go ahead and get to filling this one out. So for fun and recreation, we've got memory keep Wednesday. I have had 0 luck getting this done since I went back to work. And I don't know that it's going to get any better, but we're going to keep putting it on here. I may need to think about changing the date from Wednesday, or day of the week from Wednesday, to something different, but for now, I think that's all. Let's go back to the goals, the quarterly goals, and look. All right, so prioritize small fun moments. Oh, duh, there's a big one here. CPC is happening in November. That's maybe a little more than a small fun moment. That's this one. Vacation is happening in December, and then a day trip. Probably won't have a day trip in here this month. Well, we are going to, we'll leave that with family because we're going to go to Thanksgiving, and that's probably about it. All right, so now I need another, the next one is work and learning. You could put the orange marker away. All right, so work and learning, we said stay 2 weeks ahead. Design what feels good. Advent box, I limited the amount. That's already kind of in process. I was thinking about limiting the planner prep items that are personalized this year, keeping up with systems and boundaries and for school and in my shop. So let's see what we did for October. For October, we have 2 weeks ahead. And it'll just be, that's like 3 weeks. If that needs to happen, let's see. 1, 2, 3, because after here is this Thanksgiving break. So 3 weeks, we'll just put 3. Oops, I keep flipping to the wrong page. I just need to go back 1 page, not a whole set. So 3 of these little dots for 2 weeks ahead. We also had on here, we gotta, so we've got a little bit more designing to do, but we've got to finish and ship the Advent this month, and I'm just gonna put on like that right underneath there. Okay, if you weren't aware, I do own a sticker shop, and we have an Advent calendar, so if something you want to check out, and go ahead and check that out. Family relationships will be next. Okay, we'll place that one here. I need a different color marker. And then here we had a weekly check-in. And we will do 4 of those. We have date nights. 2 times a week. I'm only going to track these for 3. Part of that 1 week is CPC and travel. And then we'll put Amarillo trip again. We were there last month, but we will head back for Thanksgiving. All right, and then now what we got going on over here? We got health and wellness. We'll put the purple marker away, grab the blue one. Health and wellness. I'm gonna start it there. Let's see what we have up here. Truck water, truck sleep, added protein, and I'm going to put walk 1 time. I'm going to leave that for now, I think. All right, and then we're going to move down to spiritual and personal growth. And I just ripped that sticker. Love when I grab it that way. I really don't think I'm being too rough with them either, but you know, whatever. We can line it back up. Perform a little sticker surgery is not really the right word. I'm trying to tuck this one under because that's where the tear is there. I'm just gonna have to line it up the best we can and call it good. Yeah, I can tell there's a little issue there, but that's all right. Spiritual and personal growth. We had journal 2 times per week, and so I'm including the scripting here in this section, and so we'll do, okay, there's those. Anything else in this one? Oh yeah, we wanted to put hobby time, so I want to spend, I think we had added that. Let's look. So 2 times a month we wanted to do some hobby time that was not just planner stuff. We wanted to do 2 separate things during that time. So I lost my camera control here. Can't see if we're in frame. We're gonna check it out and see. All right, so twice a month, and I did do it a little bit last month, prepping for CPC, so we'll go ahead and put 2 dots here. I don't know, I guess memory keeping could be considered that too, but we'll see if we can find some time, and probably gonna get some hobby time done at CPC because some of the workshops I signed up for are planner adjacent, let's just say that. Okay, the other thing we looked at was ready to do some financial. All right, and I'm not really sure why I had marked all of that I did last time on the tracking spending, because that's not what I had in my quarterly goals. I really don't know what I did there, but kind of got a little mind numb, I think. So we're going to track spending twice a month. So just twice we'll track some spending. And then we're going to put pay bills on here. And then an extra payment. All right, 1 dot here, 1 dot here. All right. And then lastly is the physical environment. And for the quarter, I said 15 minutes declutter 2 times a week, more decluttering in my office, and then zone clean 1 time a week. So let's find that sticker, get that one down, and then hopefully we have some room here. I've taken up all the room. I feel like I have less on here and use more of the space up than I did last time. Let's see where we were at last time. Yeah, pretty close to the bottom. I'm not sure what I did there. All right, so we're gonna put, I'm gonna do like this zone clean. We're gonna try one time a week, and they got 4. And I'm gonna say declutter. I'm gonna just say 3 areas or 3 places, however we look at that. I do have some time off. This month I do have a week off in November. So we take a full week for Thanksgiving. Okay, so that's done. We need to add some more deco, I think, or whatever we're gonna do to this page. And then we're pretty much good to go. I don't know which of these pinks that I would like to try to put her on this orange. That one's gonna be too close. Let's use this lighter pink, and I'm gonna just kind of fill this in. And it didn't really fill in all that well. A little bit of space, you can see it. It's okay. I don't hate it as much as I did October's. October's thing, man, it was terrible. And I don't know, I'm just gonna leave it. I was gonna try to make another. I'm just gonna leave it as it is. All right, let's see if we can put some deco down here. Get all this up to the side, and then we are done for this time. And I'm pretty positive that I used a different page, I guess. Let's go back and look at September. Yeah, I decoed over the boxes. I was like, I don't remember the boxes. Yeah, we're gonna cover up some of this with maybe with some washi and some deco. Let's see. What monthly washi did we use? We used the really light pink. So I'm gonna use this orange and this other kind of brighter pink down here. We'll use this lighter one and then the smaller one, and then we're gonna use some deco and we're done. So do you plan all of your month at one time? Do you plan the monthly part and then your goals, or do you kind of get your calendar scheduled out and then worry about the goal part later? How does that work for your planning? I would like to know. Leave me a note down there in the comments and tell me how you kind of get your month out. I start with, probably talked about this, but if you're new here, you maybe haven't heard me, or it's a good reminder probably. I start with my A6 Wonderland 222 planner, and this is my everyday carry, and I have it with me all the time. And so anytime something pops up that needs to be added to a calendar, that needs to be dealt with for a calendar, I have it done and ready to go. So I'm going to have that with me. So I add it there, and then I can add them in here as we go, because the week shakes out in here in this planner. This is where I nail my weeks down, and so I need the monthly view in here so that I'm not flipping back and forth, but I don't always have this with me. So that's kind of my process, but I do like to do the month and the goals at one time, and then it's easy once the monthly goals are set to just kind of pull the weekly actions for the week that I need. They're mostly all broken down here for me. And these come from the quarterly goals, looking at them and then saying, well, this is what I need to do this month to accomplish that. So yeah, that's my process, which if you followed along here for a little bit, you've discovered that, I'm sure. I think there's just 2 sheets of this in here. I think we go to different things in the next sheet. Yeah. All right, so we'll put the Happy Pie season over here. I'll put this, I don't know what this is called, a garland? Garland of something, I'm not sure what. Did I white that out for September? That September recap up there? That's not it. I may have just covered it with the washi. It looks like I covered it with some washi. I'm going to white it out. Yeah, I'm going to cover it with the white out. Even that is difficult because the top and the bottom is where I've been putting all of my deco. And man, has it gotten thick. So that helps me as I'm prepping to deal with 2026 that I want to do that a little differently. And I want to do that slightly differently, that I'm not filling that in up there that way. And then I spread my deco and stuff out a little bit more so that these two places are not huge. Okay, I think I like that for now. I don't think I'm going to do anything different. This will be where we're at. I use this for like the biggest wins of the month. But thank you for tuning in. I thank you for spending some of your time with me. And if you like this kind of video, then like and subscribe so that you can follow along. I hope you have a good rest of your night.